Hello everyone, so today's video I'm going to be talking about some easy, sustainable swaps. So one of my biggest goals is to make sustainable living as accessible to people as possible. And I know for lots of people, living sustainably seems out of their reach. It seems like something that is just too complicated, it's too difficult, and it's something that's going to take too much time. Now, in some instances this is true, but there are so many things that you can do that are really simple that will make a really big difference. And I've talked about some eco-friendly swaps and changes that you can make in the past, but I want to put in one video all of the easiest things, the direct swaps that you can make. If you're doing this now, you can do this instead. It's not necessarily going to cost any more money, it's not going to be any more difficult necessarily. It's going to just be something that's going to make a really big difference to your carbon footprint and how sustainably you're living. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first swap is, instead of going out and falling into the trap of going and getting loads of new fancy zero waste sustainable products, just use what you already have. Zero waste has become a selling point now, and sustainable living has become something to profit on, which is great. There are amazing brands out there, don't get me wrong, who are selling really useful things that you can use on a daily basis to make your life more sustainable. However, it's likely that you probably already have a water bottle somewhere. It's likely that you've probably got some plastic bags rocking about the house, and you'll probably already have some kind of old coffee cup or you know, like insulating cup of some kind when you've gone on a camping trip. You even have mugs. You have mugs in your cupboard, don't you? So you can take a mug with you if you need to. And once you start to live a more sustainable lifestyle, maybe you can see more clearly what things would be worth your time investing in. So maybe it would be worthwhile you getting a sturdy coffee cup with a lid that you can use every day. Maybe it will be worthwhile you going out and getting a really hard-wearing bag. However, if you're anything like me, you've got loads of tote bags, you've got backpacks, you've got bags coming out your ears, you do not need to go and buy a new one, so don't fall into that trap and make sure you do that swap to begin with. So the second thing that you can do is you can swap out your normal laundry detergent for an eco-friendly one, and that is where Ecova come in. They are sponsoring today's video, and I'm really excited because I absolutely love their products. I've been using them for years, and they have recently launched their new laundry detergent, which I've been trialing for the last month or two. So the wonderful thing about the Ecova Bio Laundry Detergent is that it's made from plant-based biodegradable ingredients, which reduces its impact on the environment. So this is a really easy swap that you can make in 2020 to be more green. Also, what's amazing is the packaging. It's made from post-consumer recycled plastic. The cap's made from 50% and the bottle itself is made from 100%, and it's completely vegan friendly. Now, I know loads of people worry about swapping to a green laundry detergent, that it's gonna not wash their clothes as well. However, I can promise you this is not the case with this product. I have been using it for about a month, maybe a bit longer, and it's really great. Alex has given it the seal of approval. He does most of the laundry, if I'm honest, and he really loves it. He rates it. Smells lovely, feels really soft. All of our clothes are literally hanging up right here. That's another sustainable swap. Hang your clothes up instead of drying them in a tumble dryer. Now, this product will help bring your clothes back to life so that they can last longer, because fashion waste is a serious issue, and it means that you're not going to be polluting the waterways with lots of harmful ingredients, instead using something that's made from plant-based biodegradable ingredients to help reduce your impact on the environment. Now, I've really noticed a change in our clothes. They are washing better, the stains aren't showing up as much, and also some of the bubbles on my clothes haven't been as visible, which is amazing because other eco-friendly products I've used in the past haven't been so successful. So it's really great when you find one that's good for the planet and actually good for your clothes as well. So definitely check out Ecova's new Bio Laundry Detergent. I'll leave a link and some more information in the description. So thanks so much to Ecova for sponsoring today's video, which leads me on to my next thing, which is refilling instead of buying things new. And Ecova actually do offer refills all over, and they have a thing on their website where you can go and find stores where you can refill stuff. So I can refill the laundry detergent when it runs out, which it hasn't yet, it's been lasting quite well. You can refill their washing up liquid, but I also go and refill my shampoo at a local place. I refill my hand soap, and you can also go and refill your food. You don't have to go and buy new things all the time. If you have access to a refill store or a zero waste store, or a health food shop that does refills, then see the things that are maybe affordable and price matched to your supermarket and go refill them. You'll probably find that things like pasta, beans, rice, oats, the cheap stuff, is actually pretty comparable to when you buy it new from the supermarket. So go check it out and refill instead of buying new. Another easy swap that you can make is swapping from a standard bank or standard investments to an ethical bank or ethical investments. Now this was a swap that Alex and I made a long time ago. I did my research, I looked up lots of different ethical banks online, I spoke with them about their ethics and what they had to offer me, and I found a really great fit. So I'm not going to recommend anyone necessarily, because I think it's up to you wherever you live to go do your research and find who works for you. But it's just a really easy swap, and the same thing goes for investments. If you have the opportunity to invest your money somewhere, start thinking about making ethical investments. You can find ethical brokers, you can invest in ethical brands or companies, and you can start thinking about where your money is going. I know this is not possible for everybody because lots of people's pension plans are just set, or you don't have the spare money to invest. But if you do, and you do have the opportunity to look where your money is going, then there are loads of places that you can do this, and it just takes getting in contact with some brokers, financial advisors, and doing some research to find out where that money is going. Another really easy sustainable swap that you can make is to swap out going to the supermarket for your fruit and veg every week to getting it from a local greengrocers, a local farmer's market, or getting a seasonal fruit and veg box delivered to your house. We do the last one, and it's amazing to have this food delivered every week. Saves us having to go to the supermarket all the time, which obviously saves on petrol, and it's just a really great way to support your local economy, support local farmers, and support sustainable and regenerative farming practices, which is so important for the environment. I know that this can sometimes cost a bit more money, maybe it can cost a bit more time. However, I personally have found that since we've been getting things delivered to our door like that, we're not spending as much money or more money on food because we're not as tempted to go and buy all this other stuff. I end up getting waylaid by the crisp aisle and the cookie aisle and all of the new plant-based foods that are coming out all the time. I stick to basics when I get my fruit and veg delivery because I'm like, I've got all this lovely food that I need to eat, and I stick to it, and it actually doesn't necessarily have to cost a lot more money. Maybe if you don't have the budget to do it with your whole food shop, just do it with a portion of it. One of the first things that I actually did when I first started to make more sustainable swaps was swap out some of my impractical clothing for more practical clothing. I had a whole wardrobe filled with impractical clothes, from dozens of high heels, short skirts, sequin jackets, sparkly bags, things that I would only wear on nights out basically, or when I was like, you know, dressing up when I was younger, and it just really wasn't practical moving into working environments, moving into adulthood. I didn't want to wear those clothes anymore, so I really had narrowed the things that I was actually able to wear in my wardrobe, and they just sat there. Plus they were wasteful for me to be constantly buying them because I would wear them once and then not wear them again. So I started to instead invest in more practical clothes. Things like t-shirts that I would wear over and over again, like plain t-shirts, things like leggings that I could wear over and over again, practical shoes like trainers rather than heels. I now have a wardrobe where I have lots of lounge clothes that can be worn around the house, but they can also be worn outside the house. I have lots of jumpers that are cozy and comfortable, that are secondhand, and I have dresses that are really pretty, but I can wear them to work, I can wear them to dinner, and I can also wear them to an event with a smart pair of black heels maybe. I have really changed up my wardrobe so it's both enjoyable and fun for me, but mainly just practical so that I'm comfortable, it looks good, I know what to pair it with, and it's a really easy swap that you can make as you start to develop more of a capsule minimalist wardrobe. Now, continuing the theme of clothing, let's swap out fast fashion sites for secondhand shopping sites. There are so many out there that are incredible. Please leave your recommendations because they're always different in different countries. But leave your recommendations in the comments. But stop going on fast fashion websites. Close them, delete them from your bookmarks, unsubscribe from their emails, and instead scroll through secondhand sites. I find it really addictive. I love it because you're getting a good deal, you're finding the perfect item, and it's like a challenge. You set yourself, you're like, I want a red dress, I want a black pair of heels, and you go on the hunt for them. It's really fun, and I much prefer it than the overwhelming sense of stuff, more pages and pages of cheap, tacky clothing that you really don't need and you'll probably be tempted to buy too many of. Stick to the secondhand sites, find what you need, set yourself the challenge, and get yourself a good deal. Instead of buying new, let's buy secondhand and let's do clothing swaps. Let's do one in, one out rules so that we're not accumulating so much stuff all the time and we're becoming more mindful of what we own. So every single time you have that temptation to go and buy something new, whether that's clothing, whether that's furniture, whether that's a book, see if you can go and find it secondhand. See if you can swap it with somebody. See if you can do a one in, one out rule. So if you take something in, you have to get rid of something as well. So you're really like making yourself sure that you need that item. It's applicable to all areas of your life. This can be kitchen stuff, this can be household stuff, this can be presents, this can be stuff for work. There are so many places that you can get things secondhand, borrowed. We do not need to be always going to just get the easy option of buying it new. So if you're someone who has a period, if you're that unlucky person who has to have a period every month, then there are ways that we can be more sustainable. We can swap out just the standard tampons and sanitary towels that come wrapped in plastic that we throw in the bin for things like menstrual cups. I personally use a menstrual cup. I love my menstrual cups. Or you can get reusable pads, you can get organic tampons, you can get tampon applicators so that you can get the smaller little tampons that don't come with any plastic, and the tampon applicator is reusable, so you just clean it and use that instead of the plastic ones that you throw in the bin. There are even period underwear that you could wear that soaks up the period blood and then you wash it afterwards. There are so many options now. It's different for everybody and I'm not going to shame anybody for what option they use or if they still do use the non-sustainable option. However, if it's something you want to look into, then it can be really, really beneficial, because I think on average someone with a period will use like 10,000 period products in their lifetime, which is bonkers. That's going in the bin, it's going into drains, it's going into waterways, and that was something that I made a change with and I will never look back. I love my period cup. Now, I'm a broken record with this one, but let's stop using fossil fuels and let's start using renewable energy. Swap your energy provider. I know it's different everywhere in the world. Again, in the UK, it's very easy to do this. You can literally Google renewable energy providers and call them up, or do it online and swap then and there in a couple of minutes. There are loads of ways that we can move away from fossil fuels and move towards renewable energy. A nice little swap that I've done for a long time now is, instead of buying new cloths or microfiber cloths to wash things with and wipe surfaces down, I will use old socks or old t-shirts that I will cut up. So if you have decluttered a t-shirt recently that's made from cotton, cut it up into cloth-sized pieces and you can use that as your cloths for however long until they start to rip up. Socks work great as dusters and it's a really, really simple swap that costs no money at all. Instead of binning your food, compost it. Again, I'm a stuck record, but composting is so important. If you are able to compost because you have a garden, you can get a compost bin. If you have food collection near you, then put it outside and make sure you're separating your bin from your food. If you have a local garden to you, you could call them up or phone up your local council and say, hey, do you have composting, local composting available to me? Can I bring my compost and dump it here? Or maybe you have a neighbour who has a garden, you don't have a garden, maybe they do. Ask them if they want your compost. They might be grateful for it because they might be really keen on gardening. It will really change the amount of waste that's going to landfill in your bin. Your bin will be nice and light and you'll complete the lovely cycle of, everything going back into the earth and going back into the atmosphere again. Because when you put food in landfill, that air is trapped and it cannot compost and you're just creating lots of harmful gases. So compost your food. Let's get rid of makeup wipes and start using flannels, muslin cloths, reusable face wipes, anything other than makeup wipes. Stop copying the girls on Love Island. Not only is it terrible for the environment, but it's really terrible for your skin. It's really drying and horrible. I have used flannels for years. I know that you can buy lovely muslin cloths and lovely bamboo reusable face wipes, but I'm sure many of you just have a flannel in your house, like a standard house flannel. What's a house flannel? I have no idea. Just a face cloth. Use that, get some water under it, wash your face, look like a panda, and then wipe it off nice and clean. Get refurbished electronics or secondhand electronics instead of a new one. So if you're in the market for a new phone, there are loads of companies now that do refurbished phones that have been sent back and they, put them good as new, and you're not having to get a new one from God knows where, made by who knows. If you're going to get something new electronically, like your phone, your camera, your headphones, look into secondhand, look into refurbished options, go to your local electronic shop. They'll probably have things that have been taken back to them or sold to them that are used, that are perfectly good, and it's a great way to save money as well as saving the environment. So let's swap out single-use plastics or things that aren't recyclable or things that are very difficult to recycle for things that are easily recycled and things that aren't made from plastic. So that's things like glass, things like cardboard, things like tins, as well as things that very clearly say that they can be recycled and you know that you can put in your recycling bin at home, because it's much more likely that you're going to be more mindful with your waste than if you're buying lots of single-use plastic, things you have no idea about whether you can recycle or not. There are lots of pesky things like crisp packets and plastic bags and cosmetics that's like, how do you recycle those things? So try and swap those out where and when you can for things that are very obviously recyclable. Now that is my list. I could have gone on and on forever, but for your own sanity, I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm going to leave it open to you guys. If there are any sustainable swaps that you have, that you've done, that you think are really simple and lots of people could implement, leave them in the comments down below and we can help each other out. Thanks again to Ecova for sponsoring today's video. Definitely check out their bio laundry detergent. Honestly, it's great. I'll leave a link in the description and all the info down below. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!